Hello, and welcome to our session on how to de-risk your strategy by avoiding 3 big strategy execution pitfalls. Steve and I are here representing Claridec. We help organizational leaders to cut through the fog of uncertainty and risk in order to achieve better quality, clarity, and confidence on their consequential decisions. As a result, these leaders deliver more value to their stakeholders than their peers at organizations who ignore risks or muddle through uncertainty. Let's begin our session by introducing today's speakers. My name is Diana Del Bell Belluz. Key things about me are I have over 35 years experience providing risk management consulting to North American organizations across a wide range of economic sectors. In 2001, I established RiskWise to help companies manage risk more proactively and to integrate a risk lens into their decision-making and culture. In 2020, I co-founded Claridec to help executives improve their organization's capabilities to make decisions under conditions of uncertainty and risk.
Yeah, my name's Steve Ewell. I have 30 years experience really focused on decision analysis and risk management consulting to organizations around the world, in particular to capital-intensive industries. And in addition to my consulting, I've developed several software tools that help support decision-making and risk management for strategies and for major projects.
We have 3 main messages to share today. First, most organizations experience a significant gap between their strategic objectives and their actual performance. Let's call it the strategy to performance gap. Second, much of this gap arises due to 3 strategy execution pitfalls. And third, if you want to enhance strategy execution, the questions you ask matter. Our agenda is broken into 3 parts. I'll begin by digging into the 3 big pitfalls that cause the strategy to performance gap. Then Steve will walk you through a case study that illustrates the approach we've developed to close that gap and bulletproof your strategy. Then I will take you through some tips and resources to start the journey of de-risking your strategy. Let's jump into part 1. The word strategy gets thrown around a lot, and it can mean very different things to different people. So I want to distinguish between the 2 strategic processes that are necessary for success. The first process is strategy formulation or strategizing, and it's the domain of strategic planning. It begins by thinking about what the business environment will be like in the future in order to articulate a vision for how the organization will thrive in the future. We've represented that here with the small round globe that represents today's business environment and the larger ovoid globe that represents the future environment. The next step of the process is to decide on the key strategies that the organization will pursue to move from today's business model to the desired future state. As illustrated here, that may include 1 or more approaches, such as expanding, diversifying, or even completely transforming the business model. The next step is to formulate a strategic plan that includes objectives that are really major milestones for the journey to the future state. Strategic objectives tend to be directional and broad. For example, an objective might be to expand into adjacent geographies or diversify by adding new products for existing customers. Strategic plans will typically also set growth and performance targets. However, they don't specify a tactical implementation plan. That happens in the second strategic process. The second strategic process is strategy implementation or execution. It involves 3 main steps. The first is to articulate a strategy execution model that captures the executive team's understanding of the key levers that the organization will use to achieve the strategic plan, as well as the key risks and uncertainties in the business environment that can impact success. In many organizations,